We're going to do something called Conspiracy and Coffee.
Okay.
What do you think that entails, John?
Probably conspiracies and coffee.
Close. We're going to do conspiracies.
Okay.
We should be drinking coffee since
I was going to say,
you know?
just pretend like you're drinking coffee.
Yeah,
right
so just imagine us with 2 cups of coffee talking about conspiracies.
Yeah.
So, John, I thought I'd bring it full circle. And for our first conspiracy,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever heard of this man named John Fitzgerald Kennedy?
No, never in my life.
For anybody who doesn't know who that was, John F. Kennedy was our 35th president, John. He was elected in 1960.
Sounds correct.
All right. And he was assassinated.
Again, don't rely on us for facts.
Yeah. And he was assassinated in Dallas, Texas on November 22nd, 1963 at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I actually didn't know the time.
He didn't.
No.
And he was assassinated while riding in a presidential motorcade through Dealey Plaza.
1961, January.
What?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah. It's inauguration. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was riding with his wife, Jacqueline.
Correct.
The governor of Texas at the time, John Connally, and his wife Nellie.
Mm-hmm.
And he was fatally shot by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lies.
But some people forget that he was not the only one injured. Governor Connally was also seriously wounded in the attack.
Correct.
Yeah, people forget about that. Later on, Oswald was later arrested by the Dallas Police Department 70 minutes after the initial shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And he was charged under Texas state law with the murder of Kennedy. And as well as, people forget, Dallas policeman J.D. Tippett, who had been fairly shot a short time after the assassination. Do you remember?
Yeah. Okay. Tippett, the police officer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He got killed.
Yeah.
What movie was he watching? It'd be a weird fact. I am curious. I never even thought about it.
Actually, that is. We can get into it if you want in a bit. So at 11:21 a.m., November 24th, 1963. So this was 2 days after the assassination. On live television cameras, while they were trying to transfer Lee Harvey Oswald from the city jail to the county jail, he was fatally shot in the basement of the Dallas Police headquarters by Dallas nightclub operator Jack Ruby. He was taken to Parkland Memorial Hospital, where he later died.
Okay.
Ruby was convicted of Oswald's murder, although it was overturned later on an appeal. And Ruby died in prison in 1967 while waiting a new trial.
It was overturned?
It was overturned on appeal.
When?
It doesn't say here.
No, but I'm just curious. I never heard it was overturned.
So after a 10-month investigation, the Warren Commission concluded that Oswald assassinated Kennedy, that Oswald acted entirely alone, and that Ruby had acted alone in killing Oswald.
So what got overturned? Don't have to worry about the date. Just what was overturned?
We'll get into it in a bit. So Kennedy was the eighth.
I'm hearing this all for the 50th time.
Kennedy was the 8th and most recent U.S. president to die in office, and he was the 4th, following Lincoln, Garfield, and McKinley, to be assassinated. Right after his assassination, Lyndon B. Johnson.
You could call him Connolly if you want.
What's that?
You can call him Connolly if you want.
What?
Did you call him Canley?
No. This was the presidents: Lincoln, Garfield, and McKinley.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah. Lyndon B. Johnson automatically assumed the presidency upon Kennedy's death, being the vice president at the time. So,
yeah, I heard.
So that's the official story, but of course, this wouldn't be called Conspiracy and Coffee if there wasn't more to it.
Right.
So
what do you think the government's putting in our coffee?
I don't know. Could be anything, right?
That's what it is every week.
So the Warren Commission, if you want to go out there and read it, it's an 880-page report.
Yeah, that's long.
grabbed all the evidence, everything they could in those 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
And from all that evidence, John, they said Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman.
Right.
So
Yeah, it totally happened that way.
if you're
Next.
if you're inclined to question people and you want to question the official report, go and read it, break it apart like most people have, and you can go to some people have come through
I haven't done it.
to different conclusions.
I don't think you've done it either.
No, I haven't read one page of that commission.
I'm not gonna read that.
No,
because
enough people have done it.
It's full of lies.
Enough people have read that report
Lies.
since. But I think maybe one day I'll read it. 880 pages.
Actually, I go.
That's shorter than a Stephen King book.
I go. There's probably like an audio version. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
You would listen to it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to audio. But then I'm still really thinking bullshit. I'm sorry, it's a bad habit of me going into the microphone because that's me trying not to laugh instead of Matt who's just laughing. All right, and he's just keeping it quiet. All
Okay,
right.
so there was that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny was shot. Everybody believed the official story, and then a few years later, how many years later was it?
What was it? 63, right?
It was in 63.
No, I'm saying it happened. It got released on the Geraldo Rivera, right?
Uh-huh.
I think 70. Shit, I'm totally guessing, man. 70, was it like 10 years later? Was it 7 years later? I don't know.
What?
Like 71, 72, 73? When did the video get on TV?
Yeah, I think it was in the 70s when officially.
it was
what we're speaking to is, of course, the Zapruder film. That's the next piece of story that I wanna get into. So the Zapruder film was a film shot by Abraham Zapruder. He was, I always forget what he was. What did he do for a living?
I don't know.
He owned he was like a business owner.
I mean, to me, he's relevant to the story, right? He was the shooter. He filmed himself doing it. That's my favorite conspiracy.
It's really the only piece of photographic evidence that we have of the assassination.
Right.
If you ever go to Dealey Plaza, and anybody who wants to visit the beautiful city of Dallas, Texas, it's in downtown Texas. The street is Elm and
Houston.
Is it Houston? Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, the
Nightmare on Elm Street.
the streets that the limousine was going down, it actually goes under a overpass.
Right.
So
now there's a bunch of idiots that want to take a picture on an X.
They have two X's. They have two X's on the street. One is where
are they still accurate?
I don't know.
I mean,
the X's.
Somebody told me that they moved one for almost safety reasons.
Really?
So I don't know if they're accurate.
I don't know. I went a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Everyone runs out like an idiot. They want to take a picture on the X.
Yeah.
Well, you're just trying to make more X's. That's what
you think they'll put another X for you? Nah.
You aren't that important.
Yeah. So they do have two X's. One marks the first shot, where where he got. Did he get shot in the neck? That was the first shot, right?
The first was the neck, I believe. Yes.
And then the second shot that popped his head back into the left.
That came from the front. No, it did not come from the front. It actually it did come from the front. I'm stupid. They're telling us it came from the back, but it came from the front. Seems more logical when you see a picture of 1,000,000 doctors showing the exit wound, which is on the top left corner.
Yeah.
So you have a bunch of testimonies. Are there pictures, or are those pictures recreated?
Of his head?
There's pictures.
I don't think.
I've seen pictures. I think they're real.
Oh, they're real? Okay.
I think. You can find pictures online of Kennedy with his head, the picture of the wound,
the exit wound.
Yes. Well, we call it the exit wound.
Yeah.
Well, we believe
some people call it the entry wound because it's from the back. Because Lee Harvey Oswald was the only shooter, or some people call it the exit wound.
Yeah, it's what they call. I call it bullshit. That's what I call it. Because you got back into the left, so you're probably getting hit from the front. Even though they said he's getting hit from the back in the Warren Commission, whatever. And you got a giant hole in the back of his top left head.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the Zapruder film showed that until most Americans saw it in whenever it was.
That had to stir up more like conspiracy stuff. Like once you see the video, like, yeah.
That was the thing with the video, right? It brought up the fact that his head did go back into the left.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, if you didn't really, there was no video evidence. It was just eyewitness testimony, and most people only knew what happened based on the Warren Commission, right?
Right.
So they compiled all the eyewitness people. Unless you were there, you really didn't know. Hey, his head did snap back. It didn't snap forward. How physics tells you it should.
Right.
All right. So.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Even everybody who I know that like watches weird, violent shit is like a big gun freak.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me like, yeah, that's an exit wound, even though they're not conspiracy people.
Right. They're just going by.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be big. It's gonna come in with a small hole, and it's gonna leave with a big hole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about guns. I mean, I don't care. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the picture of the bullet?
Oh, the actual bullet, how it looks, it's really clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody who I have like weird gun friends that you probably know too.
Mm-hmm.
They always say like that doesn't look like it shot anything. Like you shoot like a can of soda or a bottle of water,
and
apparently that ricocheted. How many times? Or how many people to go through?
It went through Connolly.
It went through Kennedy.
It went through Connolly's wrist.
Yeah.
And then it went through Kennedy's skull.
Okay.
And then where did it end up? It left his skull, right?
I think it went like down the street to like the store, and then it came back.
And then it hit his thigh. It hit Connolly's thigh, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it in his like leg or knee? Or,
yeah.
I don't know. Was it leg? I don't know.
It's funny. We probably should have like looked a lot more.
Yeah, we should probably.
It's mostly from memory. Like,
yeah. No, I'm doing all this from memory. Okay.
Yeah.
I try to like distance myself from these conspiracies because you just like go down those weird YouTube rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, who did it? And I see stupid comments. I think it was the driver. And I almost want to recomment like, you're a fucking idiot. That is the dumbest theory ever. The driver.
So John, yeah.
That is a theory some people believe.
The driver?
Yes, the driver. Yes.
You want to go over some of the theories?
Sure.
Okay, so here are some of the conspiracy theories of what actually happened. So, John, have you ever heard of a man named E. Howard Hunt?
Yeah.
So,
tell me.
So it's a theory that, so apparently he was a former CIA agent, and he was one of the Watergate burglars.
Right.
All right.
Did you know that that's actually who they say the Mission Impossible name is based on?
It's based on him, Ethan Hunt?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I swear, like, I've heard that a bunch of times. I think even, I've heard it from, like, people who I kind of follow on, like, social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they know what they're talking about. Like, people have written, like, JFK books, and I think it's in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just one of those
Is
things.
it like, was there any reason? Oh, because he's CIA. Okay.
Yeah. So they just, like,
okay.
Yeah, he was really big in the CIA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I can get into it later. I thought about something I think Johnson said. Again, guys, don't rely on us for facts. We're just here to...
So he was like I said, he was ex-CIA, American intelligence officer. He's actually, he published 73 books. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's an author, 73 books.
That man wrote 73?
73 books.
How much shit do you have to see to write that many books?
I don't know, but apparently he saw enough for 73 books.
I can't even listen to one Audible book in a month.
Although, he was in the CIA from 1949 to 1970, so he probably saw a lot of things between that time.
Well, I'll tell you this. I remember when Johnson took over, and E. Howard Hunt was still... he was still doing whatever he was doing. I don't know, CIA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnson recorded everything. But I remember Johnson had a quote where he said, "That man knows too much." Or
Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying it word for word, but yeah, he was saying, talking about E. Howard Hunt.
Uh-huh.
He was saying, I mean, you guys could say, this man knows too much, that man. He said something like almost very, I think I'm very close to the quote.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like, interesting. To me, that was interesting. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he was like, because that was the crazy thing about Johnson. When he took over, he recorded everything. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dude, you can like, have you heard that conversation where he's just, and we probably should have played it sometime, but he's talking about getting his pants fixed. Like he's talking to his tailor.
Oh, yes.
And there's like, something
I think we heard it together, right?
Yeah, it's funny because it's a casual conversation with like his tailor. Mm-hmm. He's like, these pants are too tight and they're hurting my bunghole, and I'm just like, like, you're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, I helped kill the president. Yeah, I don't think he said that last one.
No, I doubt it.
Johnson was very smart.
Very smart.
He was just crazy.
He was a very smart guy, right?
Kind of a pervert.
Was he a pervert?
I don't know if he was a pervert.
I heard
by today's standard, I don't think he was doing it. He wasn't doing it to be a pervert.
He would have been mean-toed in this.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. I go maybe back then it was more like a power move. Like he would.
He would take out his penis.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
He was known to have a very
like he would do it in front of like private like reporters.
Like he had a larger than average penis. Apparently,
I think there was a reporter.
Like it's on display, like in.
I think that'd be weird. Right?
Yeah.
eBay. I'm still the only one on eBay. It's like that's where they sell weird shit.
Yeah, haunted things.
Haunted. Yeah,
yes.
If you guys ever
want
to
watch,
just start buying haunted things. I do. I kind of, sort of, not really.
So to go back on Ehar Hunt, he was considered possibly being one of multiple shooters. If you don't believe in the lone gunman theory of the Warren Commission.
I do not.
So, did you know, John, that this was crazy. The Dallas Morning News, the Dallas Times Herald, and the Fort Worth Star Telegram. They all photographed 3 transients under police escort near the Texas School Book Depository shortly after the assassination.
Can you dumb that down?
3 separate publications.
Okay, 3 transients.
Transients, hobo-looking guys.
Yeah, the 3 hobos.
3 hobo-looking
Yeah, I was like, I know what that is. And I was like, transients? I was like,
so the men later...
it's transgender, man.
So the men later became known as the 3 tramps.
Yeah.
So according to... do you know a man named Vincent Bugliosi?
No, I mean, maybe, but no.
So according to him, allegations that these men were involved in a conspiracy originated from theorist Richard E. Sprague.
Okay, I don't want to jump ahead, but doesn't one of them, like, people have a theory that one of them is E. Howard Hunt, right?
Yes, that's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going.
Yeah. Okay.
So the conspiracy originated from theorist Richard E. Sprague, who compiled the photographs in 1966 and 67, and subsequently turned them over to Jim Garrison during his investigation of Clay Shaw.
You know what's interesting? If you can see it, you can find photos. You guys just Google like JFK 3 hobos or whatever. Mm-hmm. You can find photos, and it is like, maybe it's just psychologically, they do not look like hobos. They do not. They look like they're too well dressed,
right?
Like to be like living.
Well, like the actors trying to,
something weird. Yeah, they don't look like. Yeah, I mean they don't look. I mean maybe it's just because we didn't live in that era. Mm-hmm. So
hobos maybe were a little bit better. Yeah, a little better dressed.
Hobos are like well, I'm a very formal hobo. Like I don't, I'm.
I'm still a gentleman. Yeah, like at the end of the day.
Like I know I'm under the bridge, but like I'm wearing a tie. So it's like
I'm still a gentleman.
Yeah, all right. Gentlemen's club.
All right. So yeah. So the theory is he's one of 3 hobos or 3 tramps.
Such a weird.
It's such a weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say is like that tells you more. Like it was different back then.
Yeah.
I just.
Well, it's like the cartoon. What was that cartoon? The Lady and the Tramp. Like the dog's supposed to be like a poor dog, right?
And I knew what a tramp was, like a slut or whatever. Mm-hmm. I knew what that was before I saw that movie.
So you assumed it was, but they're saying Lady and the Tramp, so it's like
yeah. So I get confused.
Yeah.
I know it's like it doesn't make any sense to know that as a child.
Did you think it was about one person and she was she was a lady during the day and a tramp at night and she lived this double life?
I thought it was lesbian porn. That's what I thought. I was like VHS.
How were you
in a Disney cartoon?
How old were you when you saw this movie?
I don't know, probably like 10. I don't know. I still thought it was lesbian porn.
Lesbian porn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 11 now.
So that's one of the theories, that he was involved in a CIA operation. Him and these two other tramps.
Yeah.
And they were. What is it?
No more tramps. They ruin everything.
What's part of the
they
theory?
Wreck homes.
Was the whole shots from the grassy knoll?
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Well, I went with you once, and we were just like hanging out, looking at.
Well, there's railroad tracks right behind there, right?
Yeah. In fact, okay, I don't know how much it's changed. That's where I get confused.
It doesn't seem like they've changed much about the area.
Yeah, if they were smart, they would. They would have done it right. They would do it right away.
Right away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Start like, hey, let's put some money in our budget.
Remember
this year.
the guy like had like a little X like on the fence where he said he thinks the headshot came from.
Yeah.
Like he had like drawn it in or like hit it with a. I don't know if he drew it with a marker or a knife, but it was like I remember. Mm-hmm. He had like an X. He's like, this is where the headshot came from. And dude, they're so confident. If you guys ever go to Dealey Plaza, it's
the guys there.
Oh my god, they're obsessed.
Yeah, they're there every day. It seems.
Did you see him? Did you see him recently?
I saw. I don't know. I can't remember if it was the same guy we saw years ago, but it was this like older gentleman, sort of a little bit obese, sitting on a chair with pictures.
Was it the same guy that signed our thing?
I can't remember. I don't think it was. But
I mean, there's a very obvious question here. I think we can say. Was he black?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Black. Yeah. No. I can't remember because there's like three of them.
I remember the black. There was a black gentleman there. And he was there. He said he was 13 years old, 12 years old.
Oh yeah, when 13. It happened.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and that's why.
Right.
That's why I was like, I don't want to hear you. Like,
yeah, because he actually saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those crazy people. Like, I met Hitler. I'm like, no, you didn't.
But that does affect you, right? That.
Well, yeah, because you're there to 13. Watch the president.
You're 13,
and you're there, and you're there. You're not there because you don't like him. You're there because you like him.
Yeah,
like you're not there holding protest signs.
Yeah,
what am I saying?
And the thing is,
it's like
he was there in Dealey Plaza, right? Like he actually saw him get shot, right?
Yeah, like he was like. I mean, I know like it's hard to recall memories from that time, but like you probably don't forget that day.
Yeah,
like you're gonna remember some of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to talk to somebody about that because, like, you probably do, because of that reason, you probably do get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because it affected you so much.
Yeah, because I started thinking about, I was 15 when 9/11 happened.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And
how much? Wait, you weren't 15. Wait, we were in the same. Okay, we weren't in the same high school, but we were in the same grade. What grade was that? It was freshman.
We were in the same high school.
We were not in the same high school.
But we're the same age.
Yeah, I said we were in the same grade. At the same time.
Yeah.
So I said, no, it was freshman year.
So we're like 15.
I'm young. I was, it's funny. It happened as I had just turned 14. Yeah.
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 No, you had just turned 15.
No, I just
2001.
No, hold
2001.
on.
Do the math.
No, because I was 17 when I graduated.
Yeah, but you had just turned 15.
I just turned 14. Do the math.
Do the math.
I was
2001. 2001.
No, I'll tell you right now. Think about it. If I was 7,
what year were you born?
Okay, I'll tell you the whole.
What year were you born?
86, but early.
Okay, 86.
No, but
August 86.
Check this out. Unless I'm crazy, okay. Unless I'm crazy, and unless you're about to September 11th, 2001.
Okay.
Okay, so unless I'm crazy, when I was
very possible.
When I started, I am very very crazy. Like not in like a violent way. Okay.
You're one of those kooky, wacky, crazy guys you see on TV.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Okay, you're like Kramer.
Freshman,
you're like Kramer and Seinfeld,
like you know how like,
but not as funny.
Like there's a good. And did you hear that bit he did? Jesus. Anyway, you guys should see his stand up. If you haven't seen his stand up, just Google.
It's hilarious.
Google Michael Richards.
You will not be offended.
No, it's very offensive and it's terrible.
No.
Like he ruined his career in one night.
Do the math. 86 to 2000. How many years is that? 14. 2001.
Okay, but I'll tell you right now. I know I was 17 when I graduated.
Okay.
But you usually, statistically, you'll have a birthday in high school, because it's most of the year. Okay. So I go, I started high school at 13, finished at 14. I'm saying like freshman year, 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, 14 to 15.
Yeah.
Next year, 15 to 16.
Yeah.
Last year, 16 to 17.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I was 14.
It was our sophomore year in high school.
It wasn't freshman?
No, it was sophomore year.
Oh, wow, I'm an idiot. I like how you just let me go on. And I'm like,
yeah.
I know you did it on purpose.
Yeah, it was a sophomore year in high school. So,
I don't know why I thought it was a freshman.
No, it was a sophomore year.
But everybody remembers where they were.
Yeah, because I remember I was in. Remember the class I was in. So
unless you're my
one
nephews and you're all stupid.
Well, how old is your oldest nephew?
Gonna be 21.
So he was what?
0. I don't know. He was
like 3 years old when it happened.
Yeah, because how many years is it?
It's been 18 years.
Okay, yeah. So he was he's 3.
Yeah. So imagine.
But I'm just saying, like, you remember, not like you remember, like, do you even know what it is? And like, kind of.
It's hard for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in history books now. Like it's in their, it's in the back of their history books.
Yeah, like if you think about it, how much do you know
I'm
about?
104 years old. I'm going on 105.
How much do you remember? How much do you know of other because you're weird, but like people born like around like our age, right? How many? What percentage do you think of them know about the Reagan assassination attempt? Which happened a few years before we were born. Probably not many.
Yeah,
granted, that's a smaller story.
You got to dig into it.
I guess that's a smaller story.
It is a much smaller story because it's not like because we had already had a president who got assassinated. Yeah. So it's like this is like this is below the bar. Like because to us this was the biggest thing since Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, yeah. So, but the reason I bring it up, it's like it's crazy, right? So this gentleman that we're talking about, he was 13 years old when he saw Kennedy get assassinated. We were both 15. You had just turned 15 when 9/11 happened, right?
I want to say 14.
So it's very vivid, right? We're only 2 years apart in terms of he was 13
age.
Yeah, so I imagine I mean it's probably similar experiences. It really does affect you in the sense that you remember it. And the thing is, we saw it on TV. This man was there. He was there. Like
honestly, dude, I think he did it. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's a new theory.
Yeah.
This man. Do you remember his name? The man?
No. He signed the thing, right? Do you got?
Oh yeah, when we
bought.
Yeah. I think I have it here.
He will swindle you, guys. He hangs out. He lies and says he was there, and he just makes money all day, swindling people with with like little programs and magazines and cool DVDs.
Thing. I still have it; it's right there.
I know.
You saw my DVD earlier.
I asked you. Did you watch that? Yeah. Like I watched it like a week or two after we got it.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like at least it's like, but it is an older clip of like where new stuff has come out since then.
Yeah. Because it's this is a unique. But
do you remember that guy? That it was like he was hosting like little mini tours, making money and taking donations.
Yeah,
and like they are there to make money, but I really think they care about it. Like I don't
the men on I'm
talking about if you walk around Dealey Plaza, there might be 1, 2, 3 people that are like they're hanging out there, and they are making money. But I swear they're being genuine. It feels like they're at least doing a good job of pretending to be genuine.
Yeah.
Because they really get into it, and they're like
they will walk around with you.
They obsessed with it.
And they'll show you
and they sound like they're just as excited. Like from the first day, how long have you been doing this since I was 13?
Yeah.
No, like he probably didn't start 13. That'd be funnier. He's the next day. He's like business idea. He's like.
And it is crazy if you ever get a chance to go. It really does feel like it's still untouched since whenever they developed that area.
Right.
The overpass still very old fashioned. Like it seems like from the 60s or 50s whenever it was built.
I think they might have changed the fence, but I don't think it's like
just to keep it. But like the style is still very similar. I don't think that structure was there before.
Mm-hmm.
The structure behind it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The stone, because they have words commemorate, whatever the word is,
commemorating,
commemorating the
Matt can't say words.
The occasion.
Sometimes I forget how to spell words. Right. Is it WORDS? That was a terrible joke. Continue.
So they do have a structure there. Which I'm not sure if it was there before or not, because Zapruder, not being a filmmaker, didn't turn the camera around to show the full context of the area. Hey, it's smaller than that's.
Right.
Have you ever
Why
seen
couldn't Scorsese have been there?
Right. Hey, but doesn't it? Have you ever seen the Zapruder film? It seems smaller than what you see in the film.
What do you mean?
The area, it's just the whole area. Seems like
yeah.
You're really more on top of the street than you realize.
So you're saying no? It's all psychological. Cause
because you're zoomed in on Kennedy, so you just imagine this bigger space in your mind. At least I did.
Oh no, yeah. No, okay, we're on the same page. I go Dealey Plaza is much smaller than most people think it is.
Yeah. If you look at just the film, like in your mind, you picture a much bigger space.
Okay, yeah, I'm on the same page.
But you know what? I think what it is it's psychological. I think you're imagining this big event, one of the biggest events in human history. And there's no way it happens in this small little area, and it did, right?
Yeah, it was like it's almost like Disneyland, where they have like little like an amusement park where like those little fake towns.
Yeah. It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost looks like that.
Yeah. So you ever get a chance to go? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. It's I didn't want to take the like tour because they're just gonna probably repeat the Warren Commission stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to psychos in the street. Like that,
hear all the conspiracies.
Yeah, like other people like.
And you know, maybe we didn't talk that much about the specific conspiracies, but there's so many. It's you probably could do one whole hour on one conspiracy, right? You probably could do 1 hour.
So who delivered the headshot? Was it Oswald?
It had to have been somebody from the fence.
It was Oswald.
Or wasn't there another theory that there was even another shooter on the overpass?
There's a lot, man.
Yeah. But like I said, like you could probably do an hour on each easily, and it probably wouldn't be enough time.
There's a couple of big buildings up there where that guy was telling me like there was like 2 shooters up there.
It's like it's something to be like 1921, right before you.
Yeah, because you know what's interesting to me. I'm like, oh, you know what? I go, there could be guns. I mean, there were. I mean, there had to be guns with silencers.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Those silencers, from what I've.
No. But think about it. If the CIA or something there were shit that was out before we knew it was out,
right?
Like as far as I know, we had drones in the 60s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't we think it's new.
Yeah.
And it's not new. It's just new to us.
No. I'm saying with
top secret.
I'm saying even with silencers, it doesn't silence the shot that much. Have you ever heard a gunshot with a silencer? It's not that.
No, not outside of movies. Yeah.
It's not that silenced.
In movies, it's like.
Yeah. Or they put
the pillow.
Yeah.
I like when they put the pillow. That's so funny.
It silences everything, right?
Does it really though? It'd be.
Ow.
No, but I'm curious how much.
I don't know.
I'm curious how much the pillow works when they put the pillow.
I think it's really. I think it's just for the movie, so they don't have to do any gory special effects.
Just like you can show feathers.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's an artistic, flourish.
Just like. I always thought that's like a poor man's silencer. I don't want to say, I'm not giving Amazon any more money. I got my own right here.
It costs $9.99 at Target.
Yeah. Are you getting suckered, dude? You could probably get like a Walmart one for like.
Oh no, dude! I get that. I get those spongy ones, man.
When I murder a man, what I do is I'm just kidding. So, too many cameras in this days.
So, yeah.
Hey guys, we just want to emphasize: don't murder people.
No,
do not murder people.
No. So yeah, we could probably go on for hours over this, but it is probably one of the biggest conspiracies in human history.
Mac Wallace did it. If you guys can Google that, Malcolm Wallace.
So,
figure it out on your own.
So we'll leave it at that. And we might revisit it. We talked about it even when we first did JFK assassination. We'll probably circle back on it in a few years.
And if you guys want to get more into it, real quick, and then I'll say, I really believe LBJ was LGBTQ plus. LBJ was so crazy. I think he was in on it too, but just from like a I know it's happening kind of point of view. That's what I think.
Maybe you're all right. Okay.
They hated each other.
Yeah, apparently.
Let's keep going.
That's what you keep telling me.
No, they hate. Everyone says they hated each other.
I've only heard it from you, John.
All right. You guys can look it up.